Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Before we begin, here's how to earn continuing professional education credit for attending this session. There are no polling questions or attendance checks. Instead, you will demonstrate your knowledge by taking a brief multiple-choice quiz using the Earmark app. Visit earmark.app in your web browser. You can also download the mobile app by scanning the QR code on the screen. Log in, or if you're new, create your free account. Be sure to use a valid email address because that's where we'll send your course completion certificates. From the home screen, scroll down to find the course. You can also tap the magnifying glass icon to search for the course. Tap on the course artwork, then the Enroll button. On the Course tab, you'll find the recording and quiz questions. Complete the quiz to earn your CPE certificate. It takes us a few days to create the course on the app, so if you are attending this session live, please wait a few days. We'll email you a link to the course when it is ready. If you have questions or need help, email us at support@earmarkcpe.com. And now, on to the event.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. We are talking about 5 proven marketing strategies to boost your business. So a lot of people have word of mouth and referrals that are helping them grow their business, but they don't have an actual marketing strategy. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to build that in and put that in place so that you aren't just relying on word of mouth and referrals, but that you feel really confident about the lead sources that are coming in and the fact that there are leads coming in. So it all starts with having clarity. You can have the best product or service, but if you don't know how to talk about it, you won't do any business. So when you're super clear on your target audience and their pain points, what you offer and how it solves those problems, and you can paint a clear picture of how to get to that solution, that's when you win. So Donald Miller put together the StoryBrand 7 framework, and he says, if you confuse, you lose. And we want to avoid that. So, yeah, how do you actually get clear on all of those things? When we're looking at looking at the clarity and looking at our offer, our audience, and how people do business with us, you have to think about the fact that we are bombarded with tens of thousands of messages all day, every day. And so we want to get really clear with our audience about who they are, what problems they're struggling with, and how we have the solution to their problem so that it's easier for them to digest. So if we're putting out a message into the world with our target audience and all they're hearing is just clutter and chaos and noise, they're just going to turn the other way and find someone else who's more clear. But there is a very easy way to work through this. So I love to sit down and do this clarity exercise. The first question is, who is your target audience? And often what I hear people say is everyone, or anyone who will take my money, or who will give me money, right? And while that might be the case, there are some industries that probably really could serve anyone and everyone. We can't use one message to appeal to everyone all the time. We've really got to focus on different audiences, and we have to speak to them differently depending on where they are. So when you think about your target audience, where are they in life? Are they, are they entrepreneurs? Are they business owners? Are they employees? Are they younger? Are they more seasoned in life? Do they have families? Do they live alone? There are lots of factors, lots of different places that people are in life that can affect how we talk to them. Where do they hang out? Where do they spend their time? Where do they get their information? It's back to school time at the time of that we're recording this, and I've been talking to a couple of people who serve families and people with children. Well, right now, if you're trying to send a marketing message to parents and caregivers, you have to be super, super direct. Don't add fluff. Don't tell them the backstory. Just tell them what they need to know. What call to action there is, what are they supposed to do? And that's it. And they will appreciate the fact that you have waded through that for them. The second thing on getting really clear is what is the problem they have. So the problem, well, everybody's got problems, but the problem, we're thinking about the problem in relation to what your product or service offers as a solution. So, what is keeping them up at night thinking about this? What are they struggling with? What are they stressed about? What's something that they just can't figure out in connection to the service that you offer? Um, the third thing is what's the solution to their problem? So what is it, what is the solution for them that's what their want is, not necessarily what your actual service is. So let me break that down just a little bit more. So what they want, I'll take me for an example. I'm a marketing strategist. What I give people is clarity, um, marketing frameworks and plans and roadmaps. But what they're thinking when my audience is struggling and sitting up at night, they're not thinking, I want a marketing plan. They're thinking, I need more leads. I need more people coming into my business so that I can do more business. And so when you're thinking about that, so that's this exercise. What is it that they want? It's a little deeper. It's down in the core. The next thing to think about, how is their life going to be better as a result of doing business with you? So we're thinking about the transformation, what their identity is now when they're struggling a little bit versus what that identity is when after they have interacted with you and done business. So let's take a bookkeeper, for instance. What they're struggling with beforehand, they may not know how much, what their value is. They don't know how much money is really across on their books. Their books people might have messy books. Um, After working with a bookkeeper, that transformation, that life better is they know how much money they have. They know how they can invest more money into their business. They have confidence that their books are clean. They're not worried about an audit because they know that they'll be able to hand everything over. So when you think about how life is better, think about that impact, that transformation that happens from before to after doing business. Next thing to think about is what gives you the authority to sell to them. So, what credentials do you hold? What education have you gotten? What proof do you have that shows them that you can help them achieve the promised results, what you're trying to accomplish? So you think about, the the past clients or customers that you've served and what their transformation was, and you can speak to that. You talk about certifications that you hold, your credentials, all of the years of experience that you have in the field. There are lots of ways to demonstrate this authority, but it helps people to have confidence that you are the person to help them solve this problem. And then the last thing is, how do they do business with you? It's easy to say, to have learn more buttons on the website, and we'll talk about website a little bit more in a few minutes. But you want to be really clear and really direct and call people to action and tell them, if you are identifying with what I'm saying, that you have this problem, you understand that I have the solution for your problem. Here's how to do it. So book now, buy now, schedule a call, book a consultation. Be really direct and clear in what the next step is for them to take to get started and start the process with you. It's a quick, easy thing that they do. Just want to point that out. Quick and easy. It's not, fill out an application and do blah, blah, blah. It's very quick and easy. So I'm gonna pause there and see if there are any questions about the clarity exercise and thinking about all of these things and how to get really focused on your answers. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about, once you've gotten clear and you know these things, we're going to talk about crafting an effective one-liner. So your one-liner can also be called an elevator pitch, but this is a gold mine. So this is a marketing. It's a tiny, power-packed marketing tool. So once you're clear on all of these things, you can speak in a really effective way that allows your audience to hear what you're saying and be ready to buy from you. So the way that we do this, I'm going to share a simple formula that I like to use for creating an effective one-liner is just this: problem, solution, success. So, what is the problem that they're dealing with? What is the solution you offer? And what does life look like on the other side of your solution after doing business with you? So let's look at an example of this. So I've got another bookkeeper example. So the problem for most bookkeepers, selling themselves feels like slimy sales, so they avoid it altogether. I help bookkeepers develop genuine relationships that bring them new leads. There's the solution. And then follow that up with, so they're not stuck relying on inconsistent referrals. So when you put it all together, for most bookkeepers, selling themselves feels like slimy sales, so they avoid it altogether. I help bookkeepers develop genuine relationships that bring them new leads so they aren't stuck on relying on inconsistent referrals. So can you see how that paints a very clear picture of the kind of person that I'm looking for, how I can help them, and they can see that future. They can breathe and feel what that success looks like on the other side. So they're not stuck relying on inconsistent referrals. So there are a lot of ways to use your one-liner. I told you this is an action packed, it's a small and mighty marketing tool. So when you are in a networking situation where somebody says, "Hi, Danielle. So, what do you do?" This is where you insert that one liner. So, the default, the way we've always done things is to say, if somebody were to ask me that question, "Oh, I'm a marketing strategist." And they go, "Oh, okay." And that's it. And I've lost it. But when I say, go through, let's, think about this example, right? If I introduce myself, they say, "Danielle, what do you do?" And I launch into this, they go, "Oh, wow. Tell me more about that. How do you help them do that?" And when they ask those questions, it invites me to continue to talk. So a lot of times when we're introducing ourselves to someone, it's tempting to say, "Oh, we do this and this and this and this and this," and list off all of this stuff because you want to make sure that you are telling this person who's in front of you every possible solution so that you can kind of sweep and make sure that you cover it. But what you really want to do, because that's a little overwhelming, they're trying to process all of those things you said. But when you can make it really clear like this, they go, "Huh, tell me more about that." And that is them inviting you to talk more about what you do. And when they have made that invitation and asked a follow up question, they're so much more engaged and they're so much more likely to interact with you instead of just feeling like you just barrage them with all this information. So I love doing this. Now, this is different. It takes some practice in a networking situation to respond instead of saying, I'm a bookkeeper or I'm an accountant to do this, but I guarantee it will make you stand out and people will remember you. Use your one-liner on business cards. This is a great way of, again, introducing a little bit more about what you do in a small space. Add it to your email signature. Use it as a tagline on social media posts. Use it as an inspiration for blog or email content. So we took that problem, solution, success. That could be 3 blogs right there. If you're trying to create content for your business, or 3 longer LinkedIn posts, think about that problem and talk about customers or clients that you've had that were experiencing that problem. Another post could be what the solution is. So, breaking down your process, what makes you different? How is this a unique experience that's really beneficial for your clients or customers? And then that success, talking about a success that a past customer or client has experienced, that is gold. So, you can use your one liner to create content for blogs and articles. Your one-liner is also an easy thing for your friends and family and your network to remember to help you promote your business. So just like, it's it's kind of a dead end when you say, I'm a plumber. Oh, okay, I know what a plumber is. I know what it does. I don't have anything else to say or ask about, right? When you can provide that one-liner, it's easy for people to repeat. It's and promote on your behalf, and it's easy for them to know really who it is that you serve. Um, so it's a great tool. And the last place that you can also use it for incredible benefit is in your bio on directory profile listings. So if you're in an online directory of Texas accountants, there you go. You can use that. You've already got very simple, very clear what it is that you do and how you serve people. I'll pause for a second and ask if there are any questions about the one-liner. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is developing a high converting website. So, your website is a billboard for your business. People can come to your website at any time and see information and connect with you. So, we want to make sure that it is optimized to convert people where they come to it, they get the information they need, they connect with you to do business, and and the process starts. So your website should be clear, it should be scannable, and it should be actionable. So we're talking a lot about clarity. We really want to just cut through the noise for people and make them really understand. So you're going to keep seeing and hearing about this clarity. Websites need to be scannable. People are doing this on their phone. They're doing it while they're multitasking. We want you to have uh, things that bullet points, headlines that make it easy to do. And then that actionable piece, we want people to know exactly what to do next. So if they read your website and go, yes, this is the person for me, we want to make sure that they know exactly what to do next so that they can get started. Because if they can't figure that out, they're just going to go find someone else's website that's more clear and tells them how to do business. So your website should pass the grunt test. It should have a clear call to action. It should be easy to read. Let's save the fancy fonts. Let's not have too many crazy colors. And your website should have a lead generator on it. So the grunt test is a very quick and easy thing to do. So your website should answer these 3 questions with just a quick glance at your homepage without scrolling. So the concept is, could a caveman figure out on your website, answer these 3 questions? So the first question, what is it that you offer? Second, how will it make my life better? And what do I need to do to buy? So you've already, in that clarity exercise, you've already identified these things. We're just making sure that all of those are right at the top of that website. So when we talk about scannability, your website needs to be easy to read, right? We want to make this simple and easy for people. We don't want to overwhelm them. So from a visual perspective on your website, you want to avoid low contrast colors. You want to keep your font simple. Don't put words on top of images. There's an ADA compliance issue there, but also if it renders down on mobile versus on a desktop, it can be really hard to read words on top of a graphic. Um, on graphics or images. So I'm going to be clear on that one. So the next thing from a readability and scannability perspective on your website, you want it to be easy to scan. You want to break up sections, use headlines that draws people's attention to really important things and lets them know, those headlines let them know whether they want to keep reading more in that section. And then of course use bullet points. People love bullet points. It just bam, 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 what do I need to know? And then your website should be actionable. So your website should make it very, very clear what the call to action is. This is in the form of a button. Click to schedule, call now. That call to action button should be consistent throughout the entire homepage. So you don't want a button under one section that says learn more. You don't want a button at another section that says something else and another button to call now. It needs to be really consistent because as people go down your website, some people who are ready to buy may see that top section and call you right away. If they're on the fence, they know they've got a problem, they're not sure if you're the right person, they're going to scroll down a little bit more. They need another button in between sections so that it's very obvious as soon as they make that decision, whatever section makes them decide, they can click that button and they're ready to call now or book their call or whatever the action is. Placing the call to action button in the top right-hand corner of your website also is incredibly effective. So people read, this is probably gonna be backwards for you on screen, but people read in a Z format. So they start at the top left, they're gonna look at your logo, which is great for brand recognition. They're gonna go all the way across to the end of your menu bar and see that call to action button. So that's telling them what they need to do. And then they'll come down kind of diagonal left, and that's when they start to scan and see what they wanna read. So we really want to make sure that we're drawing their eyes to those call to action buttons so that they know as soon as they're ready to do business with us what they need to do. Okay, questions on the website. Awesome. So the other thing that's a kind of a standalone component, but also goes on your website, because I did say your website should have a lead generator. You need to have a valuable lead generator. So, a lead generator at its core is essential for capturing email addresses from your potential customers. It also serves in many other ways to convert people into customers, but at the ultimate reason that we have a lead generator is to provide value and to capture contact information. So, not everyone is ready to do business with you the moment they interact with you. Some people need a little time. They need to warm up. They're testing the waters. They're doing some research, and so a lead generator allows you to capture their contact information and gives you, when you capture that contact information, you're getting permission from them to reach out again. And that way, you can start to nurture and sell to them, so that um, you are the person that they think about when they're ready to go. When they're ready to make a decision on this type of business, you are their person. So what it does, we'll talk about this more in some of the next steps, but what this does is helps you to develop a relationship with them. It helps you to establish credibility, and it helps you to develop a know, like, and trust factor. So people need to know, like, and trust you if they're going to do business with you. And passing the grunt test on your website is probably not going to do it. One interaction in person or in passing may not do it either. So, your lead generator should provide a quick win for your audience to solve a problem. So, this is not giving them, a 24 part framework. This is saying, I understand you because I've done this clarity exercise. I know what you're struggling with. And here's something that you can do right now that will help ease that problem. Your lead generator should be so valuable that people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got this for free. Check out this amazing resource. It's a cheat sheet or a checklist or a template that I can use. You want it to provide incredible value. You want it to provide a window into what it's like to do business. So it can have your personality into it, can have your process. This is people getting to kind of test the waters with you without fully committing. Your lead generator should have content with your audience in mind. So this is not necessarily stuff that I want to push out to my people, but I'm thinking about who my people are, where they are in life, and what would be really helpful to them. It also, your lead generator your lead generator also helps to qualify your audience. So if somebody downloads your lead generator and they're not a good fit for you, that lead generator is going to help them opt out, and save wasting both of you time in a discovery call or onboarding process. Your lead generator should not feel like a sales pitch. This is content and value provide. This is not a sales pitch. So there are lots of types of lead generators. And the most common one, probably the easiest one if you don't have one and you're first starting, is a PDF download. This can be a listicle, a checklist, a cheat sheet. This is just something that you put together, you put it in a PDF format, and people can download. I want to provide just a little bit of caution. One of the issues that I see most common with lead generator, or most commonly with lead generators, are it's a kind of a list or a checklist, if you will. It's typically titled something like 5 reasons you should hire a bookkeeper. And so when I think about this from a customer perspective, and I see this, like I don't know that I need 5 reasons to know why I need to hire a bookkeeper. I'm pretty certain I need to hire a bookkeeper, but I'm trying to find the right one. And so it's easy. That's an easy thing. Like I think anyone in any industry could probably crank out 5, 10, 15, 20 reasons why somebody should do business with them. But again, we're talking about providing value. You telling me that I need you isn't providing value to me. But what I could do, a way to reframe that could be 5 ways hiring a bookkeeper can save you money each month. Well, now you've piqued my interest. I want to save money. And this is going to explain one, it's going to take a peek at a window into doing business with them. These are the things that a bookkeeper does and looks for with my best interest in mind to help me clean my books up, but also to save money. So I hope that provides some clear explanation. That's, like I said, probably the biggest thing that I see with lead generators. Okay, so that's PDF downloads. Free consultation can also be a lead generator. This is only if it provides massive value. Um, I have in here no sales pitch. It could be a very light sales pitch, but generally you're just trying to provide value. So this could be like an audit or an evaluation, something that you do quickly, a quick review with them and say, hey, here are the things that I see. Um, Here are my recommendations, or here are the priorities. And then at the end, it can be a very small, like, I can help you with that. But this is not 30 minutes of you telling them everything that you can do. This is you saying, hey, I'm here to help you and make things better for you. It can be a webinar like what you're attending now. It can be an ebook that you put together. This is longer than a PDF download. It has more framework in it. It can be an online quiz. People love to find things out about themselves. It can be some sort of a collaboration. You could have a partnership where somebody is in a business where they serve the same audience as you and do something different, and you partner up and say, hey, let's provide value to each other's audiences. So you get in front of someone else's audience and are able to provide a collaboration. Another lead generator can be a discount code. I don't always recommend something like this in a product-based business. A discount code is pretty easy, but I don't want to affect your bottom line. I want you to be able to keep making money, and discount codes can cut into that. But it is an option for a lead generator. Okay, any questions thinking about lead generators? There's a lot to this, but I want to make sure that you have a lot of value today, and things that you can take away. Okay, so the fourth component that you want to have is you want to nurture your audience. So what does that mean? Nurturing your audience is when people are not ready to do business with you right away, but you want to continue to build a relationship. That's what it is to nurture. So nurturing your nurture strategy, this should demonstrate your empathy in this space. This is, again, that clarity, going back to the clarity exercise. You know what your target audience is struggling with. And so when you can speak to that and say, I understand that, they feel more comfortable because you know who they are and where they're struggling. Your nurture strategy is going to position you as an expert. It helps you to build credibility. When you show examples, when you talk about your process, when you have before and after and client testimonials, all of those things help to nurture people and show that you are an expert in your space. Your nurture strategy also builds what talked about earlier, that know, like, and trust factor. So people have to get to know you first. And after they get to know you, they like you. After they like you, they develop a level of trust. And they're not going to give you their money if they don't know, like, and trust you first. Um, so a nurture strategy also can introduce or reinforce a core belief that your customer has. So again, this shows you know your audience, you know what they believe, you know what's important to them, and it's important to you too. I touched on this a minute ago, but this showcases your client success. That's a great way to do that. When people see other people who have done business with you that are in similar situations or have similar, environments as them, that helps to elevate. And then, of course, your nurture strategy should provide value. So you're always wanting to provide value for your target audience. I don't know what the latest number is. I feel like it changes regularly, but in general, people need 7 to 12 touch points with you before they make a decision that they're ready to do business. And so that can come in a lot of different ways. It can be interacting with a social media post. It can be getting an email from you. It can be bumping into you in an online space or at the grocery store. There are a lot of ways for that nurture strategy to build and to get those touch points, but it's a lot. So you want to have a lot of opportunity in your nurture strategy so that you are hitting in different places. So sometimes I jump ahead on slides. Ways to nurture your audience. Social media. If somebody likes or comments on a post that you put out there, comment back with them, send them a direct message, ask them a question, get them to follow up, sending out email newsletters, offering workshops, attend in-person or virtual networking, specific networking opportunities, engaging in different communities if you're in similar communities, blog posts and articles, being able to provide that, And then, of course, free guides. All great ways to nurture your audience and to develop that know, like, and trust factor. Questions on nurturing? Okay. Asking for the sale. Once you've nurtured a relationship, your folks know, like, and trust you, and you've qualified them as a good fit, it's time to ask for the sale. Now, when I put this up on the slide, this is probably where somebody avoided eye contact with the screen, and, usually people kind of cringe and say something like, "I need to go water my cat." Anything but sales, right? Nobody wants to do that, but it's not cringy, it's not salesy and slimy when you have nurtured your audience and developed a relationship with it. Um, Stay with me, okay? So, we're gonna ask for the sale. The sales strategy is the follow-up to nurturing. So when you are asking questions to find out what problem people have and you've qualified them, here are the magic words. I can help you with that. That doesn't sound salesy and car salesman-y, right? Like it's easy. You've asked somebody a question, you realize that they are your target audience, and you say, I can help you with that. From there, you can go into the details, how much it costs, how long it'll take, what the process is. Um, But that's all it takes. You've developed this relationship. They have the problem. You offer the solution. I can help you with that. Let's get started. Do you have time next Wednesday for a kickoff call, or whatever your thing is? And then you get to go celebrate having a new client. So what I find, people after they've developed this nurture relationship, they're so relieved that you're not just forcing sales and asking them to do business with you over and over, that they're actually grateful that you've got so much value that you've been providing in this nurture strategy. They're glad that you ask because they do want you to be the solution for their problem. So here are places to sell. So where do you plug that sales strategy in? In direct sales emails, in serve calls. So this is a one-on-one, a quick call where you get on, you're asking some detailed questions of people, you're getting to know that person, and then you follow that up. I can help you with that. You can sell in your social media DMs. So if people start a conversation in comments on a post that you put together or on somebody else's post, and you say, I see that, noticed on your comment that you're struggling with X, Y, and Z. I'd love to help you with that. You can have special promotions and events depending on the season. Every industry has different seasons that they, could impact, or that could impact their business. So thinking about plugging into those times of year. Okay, I'm going to pause again and ask if you have questions about the sales portion of things. We've covered a lot. All right, cool. What does this look like in real life? Um, I get it, Danielle. I understand they got to know, like, and trust me. I've got to have clarity. I need to have these components in place. But what does this really look like? So, first, you create your lead generator. You get clear, you create your lead generator, you put that out in the world. You hand that out like it's a winning lottery ticket. It's providing value for your target audience. Hand it away. You get a lead generator, you get a lead generator, you get a lead generator. You don't want to tell people that you don't want to call it to your audience a lead generator, but this guide, hey, I've got this guide. Do you think that would help? Hey, I hear you're struggling. Have you encountered this? Here's a guide to help you. Whatever the case is, hand it out like candy. Once they're in your pipeline, they've downloaded or accessed your lead generator, whatever it is, given you their contact information, then you're going to start emailing them. You're going to provide that they're going to go into your nurture sequence. You're going to provide value. You're going to establish that credibility. You're going to develop the relationship with them so that they develop this trust factor with you. Then they're going to move into the sales plan. Offer them a serve call. How can you provide more value that's custom and one-on-one to them, and then tell them that you can help them with that? On the sales call, on that serve call, you're going to provide massive value, and you're going to tell them that you can help them. So I'm sorry, I kind of backed up a little bit. Okay, so your nurture sequence, they're in your nurture sequence, and then you say, hey, I'd love to offer you a serve call. love to provide some value, see if I can help you get some quick wins. And then in the serve call, you provide that massive value and then say, I can help you with that. So I'd love to hear. This is a lot, like I said. It can be a little bit overwhelming. We're going to get clear. We're going to create a lead generator. We're going to have an elevator pitch or a one-liner that we're using everywhere. You're going to have that nurture strategy, and then you're going to start selling and asking for the sale. It's a lot. So I'd love to hear in the chat. Feel free to share. What's one takeaway that you've gotten from this? What's one thing that you want to go implement as soon as we get off this call today? You are also welcome to drop any questions in if you feel like you've tried something like this before and it hasn't worked, or if you feel like you need a little more explanation, or how would this work if. I always love helping people figure out really the custom solution, how we make this work for them. So one takeaway or a question in the chat. Love to see that from you. One liner. So, Jessica, can you share a little more? You need clarity on how to do that, or you're not sure how to apply it. Love to help you with that. Creating more free resources is something you want to explore. I love that, Jessica. That's a great place to start. Your mind is filled with so much information and knowledge for your customers, and when you can just document that a little bit, whether it's a quick video or typing out a blog post or creating a social media post, that's fantastic. I love that. Love to be able to share that. So, another question: how do I know what my customers are struggling with? That can be a really that can be a hard thing. How do we get there? So the two places that I would recommend going are when you have one-on-one conversations with your customer and your target audience, and you're just asking questions about their business to essentially to qualify them as a lead for your business. What are they talking about? A lot of times when you get started and you start that conversation, um, people will kind of do a little bit of a brain dump, and they just start telling you all kinds of things, and you just kind of sit back and listen. I'm sure you've experienced this before. So think back to those. That's what's keeping them up at night. That's what they're struggling with. That's what they're frustrated with. That's what's making them uncomfortable or nervous. So that's a great place to look. Another place to look is in your client testimonials or reviews that you get from people. They're going to talk about that transformation, how incredible their experience was with you. And so, so when you look at those, look at several side by side and see if keywords stand out. That's going to help you know what your customers are struggling with. Okay, let me pop in and see if there are other questions. Oh, we had a question about I don't have an email list and I'm not active on social media. So how do I start one? Um, so this is great, a great question. If you don't have an email list, that's okay. If you're not active on social media, also okay. Um, just start going out into the world and talking about what you do. Um, Talk about it everywhere in your community groups. If after school programs, in your faith community, at your yoga class, the line in the grocery store, at the farmers, wherever you go, people are going to ask what you do or what you've been up to. Start talking about this and say, "I've got this great resource. Do you know anybody who could benefit from it?" And then you're handing out this lead generator like it's free candy, and people are going to start joining your list. Just start talking about it. Let me see if there are any other questions. Let's see. Cleaning up one liner. Love that that's an action step. Um, yeah, rather than just saying what you do as what your title is, talking about the problem, the solution, the success. Well, thanks y'all for sharing that in the chat. Really excited to see what this looks like for you. And so I am going to I'll put my contact information on the screen if you want to connect with me. Love to hear how this is going for you. Go out in the world, try your one liner. It'll be really uncomfortable the first time, but I'd love to hear how it goes. And then also, want to provide a resource to you. I love sharing all kinds of stuff. And so the QR code on the screen, you can scan. It's a free marketing assessment. And what this is going to do, it's going to ask you questions along the lines of what we've talked about today. So your message, are you clear on your audience? Do you have a lead generator? All of those things. And it's going to tell you what you're doing well. Keep it up. Great job. It's going to tell you areas for improvement and opportunity, help you prioritize what to do next. And then I'll get a copy of that too, and we can connect. I'd love to sit on a serve call and help you go through that assessment and prioritize your next steps. So if you don't have a lead generator and a nurture plan and an email strategy or an email list, you're probably a little overwhelmed right now, and that's okay. We're going to do things one at a time. So we'll pick something small, typically that one-liner. It's a quick, easy win, but I'll help you go through that marketing assessment, the results, and figure out what the right next steps are for you. You can do this. You are doing a great job in your business. And I think that you are totally capable of getting more leads, getting more business, and serving your audience in an incredible way. So thank you for joining today. Please connect with me. I'd love to hear about your journey and how things are going. And I am going to turn it over to the Earmark team now.
Today's event has ended. To earn CPE, go to earmark.app or scan the QR code on the screen. Then log in or create your free account. Search for the course by tapping on the magnifying glass icon on the home screen and then entering the name of this event. It takes a few days to make the course, so if you're attending this event live, keep an eye out for an email letting you know when the course is available. Pass the quiz to earn your CPE, then tap the button to email yourself a certificate. Stay tuned for more events from Earmark. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.